Snow kidding. Patreon update. And do you go to bed angry? All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do. You're such a dick.
I don't mean it.
You're
I don't mean to be a dick. I don't.
I come by it naturally.
No, you're funny. You're funny, Melissa. You're funny, Melissa. Hey, Melissa. Hey.
Do you know that it is snowing here right now?
What? Why?
Yeah,
Really?
No
No.
kidding. Yeah, it is snowing.
You're not wearing any sleeves on your shirt, on your
Yeah.
pantalones. What are you doing?
I worked out in the basement. I have one of these tank tops on that's open in the back that you tie on the bottom.
Oh, my God. Who even buys these things? Okay, go ahead.
Because all of the ones that have backs are pretty much in the laundry or on top of the washer dryer that I use as a hamper.
Excuse. You still purchased it. You still decided.
Totally
I'm
did.
gonna wear a shirt that's not even really a shirt. It's more like a scarf with designated armholes and no back in it. So I absolutely have to wear a second shirt underneath this. The patriarchy has got you. You paid for a shirt that ain't a shirt.
No, it's just a sports bra underneath it. But I do have to tell you something.
Please.
When I was delivering my children, well, first of all, I've never exercised in my entire life. It's not a thing I do. It's not something I watch. We talked about this. It's not something I watched
It's not a thing I do.
Right. It's not something I ever watched my parents do and learned how to take care of oneself or eat right. It's just never been part of my anything.
Right.
So when the anesthesiologist was giving me an epidural and he said to me,
has anyone ever seen your back?
When he said to me, you have a very athletic back. Are you an athlete?
Huh?
Stuart spit took into my face the cup of hot coffee that he had been drinking. And I mean, you're trying not to move because you're in that position where they're giving you an epidural. And he says, are you an athlete? And
what
I think,
kind of long con is this guy playing?
seriously, wait, he's hoping that I'll deliver this baby, give it to Stuart, flatten my stomach.
You're not on a commission. We're paying for the epidural either way,
You
right?
bill
It's not
me.
like I'm going to get it. So you want manicure too? It's like you're getting the epidural and that's it. You don't need to upsell me, right?
Toe
hey,
too.
Hey, while you're here, did you want me to, debilitate your spine for you?
Yeah.
What the fuck? And also creepy.
Strangest compliment I've ever gotten in my entire life.
Ew.
The strangest. I mean,
Well, wasn't
what?
it you that had a gyno compliment you on your clothes while you were up in the lady lips or something? You had your legs up and he was like, hey, nice skirt. Wasn't that you?
No.
Didn't we talk about that here?
No.
Well, that's gross too. Note to medical professionals, stay in your fucking lane. I know that it's my body and you're supposed to look at it like it's not a body, like it's just some giant turkey coming to you and you're getting it ready for Thanksgiving. But here's the other thing. Don't talk about what we do outside the medical visit. Don't look at my clothes. Don't talk to me about my cars. We don't want to discuss my hair or my teeth. You're here to look at the weird thing on my back and to make sure that I don't die in childbirth. That's it, really. It's the end of the relationship. Don't need anything else.
But what happens? What happens if your spouse is a physician and a lot of your friends are physicians?
So it's like triple more important and also grosser. What are you saying?
Yeah, I try not to go to anybody. I had thoughts of, all right, now I've got colon cancer. This is what's gonna kill me. And Stuart's like, I know this great physician. You know him too. I'm like, not a fucking chance.
Yeah, he passed you the salt at our last dinner. Now stick his finger in your anus. I don't think so. That's
right. Find me a mediocre physician who I have not watched.
Well,
I
learned that late and the hard way because it's not like having friends who are lawyers or having friends who are, hotel owners or anything else where you're like, ooh, that's a good friend. People who have pools. These are good friends to have. No, this is not. A friend of mine is an ophthalmologist, right?
People who have pools.
You know what? I was like, I don't need back surgery from your like world-beating, back surgery husband, but I could give you some business, small business. I know what it is to run a small business. I'll switch to her. And I got in there and she said, I shit you not. I walked into the appointment and she was pissed. She looked at me and she said, why didn't you tell me you were coming? And I said, huh? Hi, Sandy. And she's like, why are you here? I said, because my eyes don't work, and she was like, what's wrong? What happened? What did the last guy do?
Great bedside
manner.
manner.
Super on the defensive, right? It was very much, I like to drink with you. We have parties together. This is fun. And she said, now I got to give you the whole song and dance. Because what happens if something's wrong with your fucking eyes? Then it's my fault. I said, oh.
Fascinating.
So she did all this retinal shit. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do that. Why are you going to dilate
I swear
me?
to God, I thought you said she just did all this rectal shit and not retinal shit.
Retinal.
And like, Amy,
retinal.
that is not part. That
No,
is not
no.
part of an eye visit.
That's
I
my
want you to
looking
know.
eye, not my boop, boop, boop. No, stay out of that area. Anybody, really, all of you. That's not, I don't need any, that part's fine. Let's leave it alone. Nope.
Output only.
Gravy. Why discuss it? And we're here again. Welcome to 2021.
Welcome to Tushy Talk on
Hi.
Brilliant Observations.
And we did give you that delightful lead in of all the things we're going to talk about. And we've spent a good portion of time now discussing rectums. So, hey. Athletic back, I think, is where this was happening.
So it is snowing here. And I want you to know, it's not like somebody said on the Weather Channel or anywhere that we'd be getting snow today. So it's like a unexpected snow, which is beautiful, delightful, and terrifying because you know nothing about it. Like it's an unexpected guest. And Stuart asked me a question. He was thinking back to when he was young. We share a childhood. He grew up a block and a half away from me. And we went to the same schools all our lives, didn't know each other the whole time. He's a year older. But we know the same places. We went to the same restaurants. We went to the same movie theaters with our friends.
I find all this really ridiculously shocking that you were a year apart in school and had no conception that the other walked the planet. Very bizarre.
Correct.
How big was the
bizarre.
grade? Well, how big was the grade?
How bizarre.
Like, was it
They were each
2,000 in your grade and 5,000 in his grade?
No, it's like 300 to 400 per class.
Yeah, you're not very observant. Okay. That's not a brilliant observation.
It's not like we ever moved. It's not like we ever moved and we came into the district late. Like,
well,
my
surely
kids
he
don't
was
know
on
their
like
whole class.
the debate club or the student successories or something like this.
I love your impression of Stuart. I love it.
And I mean, what club were you in? Like the shut up, I'm not in your club?
Correct. I was the president. I held the meetings.
Locked the door so no one could come in. Yeah.
Correct. So we have the exact shared past that crossed never. And we were just hanging out and he said to me, he was reminiscing like, oh, I remember going sledding here or there. Hey, Melissa, where did you used to sled?
See also athletic back.
See also spit take in your face.
I'm sure that you've sledded, but I don't feel like it was like a big thing for you. I don't get like every year you were like, yay, it's sledding season.
I don't even know if we owned a sled.
Come on. I mean, I'm sure that you sledded with the ED, but I just don't think. Of course you
never.
did.
I never went sledding. I never sledded. The first
I'm sorry. I think I misheard you. Did you say
that's what Stuart
never,
said.
ever have
Never.
I ever? No one has put your curved cheeks on a slippery something and pushed you down a hill?
I mean, not in snow.
You have ever ridden on a sled of any kind?
Not until adulthood, but not what he was asking.
Okay, but you have done it as an adult. You have experienced a sled in your life. You can say yes to that question. I have been on a sled.
Yes, I have been on a sled.
Okay, but as a children's, you were not sledders.
No, we were not anythingers. In college, I went on vacation after college, I guess. I went up to see Annie in Maine and her brother and his little kids and his ex-wife and Marnie. And Annie and I were like, we walked up to the top of the hill and everybody met at the bottom. And I thought,
how'd they get down there?
How do you get there? Like, what's going on? And you're not going to believe this, but once again, Marnie forced me outside Melissa's box. She shoved my ass on I think it was a garbage can cover and threw me down a hill. I think one time she went behind me because I wasn't going to go. And
I'm surprised she didn't just like pull you on top of her and slide down with you. Like that would also be.
She pulled me in front of her and went down.
Yeah, or like flopped on top of you and you were the sled and then that was it. Yeah, these are Marnie's. Sure. That works. That checks out.
I've also done tubing just one time in my life.
Snow tubing, you mean?
Yes. I'm nervous about going too fast anywhere. The only place I'm happy going fast is my car.
I guess so.
Because I feel like I have control. But if you're speeding down a hill where inevitably there are trees at the bottom, and I didn't used to weigh enough that I used to get some crazy height, and then I was just flying. And flying is not even sledding or tubing. It's a totally different animal about which I'm terrified. So I never minded not being pushed to do fun things because fun things are often scary things, and scary things I could be reading. Like I don't want to do that.
I completely agree. I feel like I've got I don't know that I've lost daredevil-y stuff. I don't know that I was the world's biggest daredevil to begin with, but I definitely have some sort of balance, inner ear, stomach thing going on that really affects me. And I have absolutely no fun. I have a terror response when I get on a roller coaster, when I do any of this kind of stuff. But we lived at the top of a gigantic hill. And by lived, I should say live, because the house that I was born into, my parents is still in. So it's the kind of hill where the street itself is kind of daunting just to drive up for a lot of people.
You're like in San Francisco?
It's crazy. Yeah, San Francisco we're the template for San Francisco. That's our hill. We have the world's best hill. And not only is it a hill in the front, in the road, behind the houses, we sort of sit atop the hill. And then behind the houses, there's a second one. So you have this grassy, almost,
that seems safer.
Almost like, and that ends in a creek. So it's not. So you go it's like bermed naturally. So it goes fa-boom, fa-boom, fa-boom. So it's you're able to hit it. It's fantastic. I mean, I vividly remember the one time that it was too icy. The road you could not traverse it. So the city came and closed it, right? They just shut the road. You're not able to drive on it. And every single person from the whole neighborhood was sledding in the street in front of our house. This went on for hours and hours and hours. It was crazy. And it's a hike. Walking up this thing, you can't do it without getting winded. You have to have years of childhood practice to be able to bike up this hill home from wherever you're going. It's a sizable hill. And we would do that thing like, hey, let's all go break our necks. Whee! So sledding to me, that's our thing. And I don't remember we had any fancy sleds or anything. But that hill, you'd be good at sledding without the snow. Skateboard, yup. Bike, yup. Anything, yup. Somebody push you, roll it down, yup. Trip, yup. You're up and down this hill.
Every time you said yup, my answer is nope. Nope, not one of them. I've never been on a skateboard.
You've never been on a skateboard? I'm not very good at it. That's one of my whistle sadnesses. I'm not good at it. Despite owning one, I'm not very good at it. And I never would put in the time to get good at it. And also my knees, maybe, when you land on them, that's ouchy. So I'm not really interested in breaking more of those.
Do you think the nausea, inner ear thing, whatever, comes with age? Because even going on, I used to love swings where you just pump your legs.
No, I can't do them anymore. Yes, makes me sick. Physically sick.
I can't do that anymore either. Yeah. I feel like everything inside jump up to my throat.
Well, how are you when you fly? How are you when you fly? Because I have the exact situation when I fly.
I'm not a fan.
I can't do it. My even when I thought it was psychosomatic until I was so grateful, because I have a hard time sleeping on planes. I was so grateful to have fallen asleep on a plane and then was awakened by my own physical sensation. So it was not my brain, I'm uncomfortable on planes, so I'm creating this idea and it's anxiety or it's this. No, I was physically asleep and I woke up because I was having a hard time breathing and I thought I was going to throw up. And it was this whole imbalance thing. I throw up the when I would go to California and visit people up in the hills and in the mountains and stuff. I've more than once thrown up out the side of a car just from driving. Just from the changes in elevation. Changes in elevation, yeah.
We discussed the fact that you're a vomiter, though.
Well, but changes in elevation. When I go to the mountains here in North Carolina, it's the switchback roads and stuff. People take them too hard, and I'm like, there's something, I've got tinnitus, whatever. So all these fucking things. I think it's related to it's not just, you're a chicken, you'll never be an astronaut. I mean, I don't feel like that's the...
Damn it. That is exactly what I was working for.
I'm going to make it. I got my athletic back. I'm ready to go. There's good things about me that don't involve sweating.
That just means to me that the one place in my body that I'm not retaining any cells of any sort, fat, whatever, is my back.
Well, talk to me about how you have translated this childhood lacking into your own children's lives. What have you? How does sledding factor in your house? You're not necessarily in a big hilled area. So what did you do?
We're not, but it was important to me that my kids snowboard or ski. So we joined this ski club, and then we would send them, and they went every weekend, and then they lost interest. But I just wanted them to have the ability to do so and not have the raging fear of everything the way their broken mother did.
Yeah, but specifically sledding, you could give a flip whether they sledded or not, as long as they have some snow acumen.
Yeah, as long as, they both rollerblade. I never put my foot on a rollerblade till Stuart was in med school, and he said, I bought you these, let's try it. And I dug my nails into his athletic back, and he dragged me, I would say 50 feet.
Why did he do that? Were you guys married at the time? I mean, had he met you really?
No. Did he know of my fear of all things with wheels? No. Movement, the greater. Were you
still trying to I think this guy could be worth me getting up and doing this thing that I will never fucking ever do again? Was this still early enough in the dating cycle where it's like, yeah, I like squid. Let's eat some. No.
Don't you ever feel like I want to be a person who...
Yes, all my life.
Fill in the blank. So as well, I am that person. And I wanted to be a person who could go rollerblade with her boyfriend. I want to be a person who does things. I'm just not that person. I'm not.
Yes.
I'm not. But that doesn't stop me from wanting to be that person. And occasionally, it was my first water slide. I can't swim. Why am I going down a water slide?
Know.
Do you know what's at the bottom of a water slide?
You're a fucking badass. I don't know why anyone would do this.
There's a moment where I'm like, okay, I don't know how that moment comes to be. I don't know where the poor decision making comes in or what initiated it. I want to be the kind of person who, and I could fill that list in 1,000 ways. And some coach would say, take small steps, try to get, no, I know this is not going to be a successful thing for me. I know that because Stuart still has scars in his back from when he took me rollerblading one time. And I know that from seeing the tree at the bottom or getting height on the snow tubing thing and thinking, I'm going to die now. This is how it ends. I don't want to feel that way again, but I do wish all of the movies where couples go into the ocean together, I can't swim. And in my head, there's an undertoad that lives under there that tries to kill me. So
that part is true. We all do know that part. That part is true. And there's sharks there now too. Thanks. I was going to say thanks, COVID, but we'll blame COVID. Thanks, COVID. There's sharks now.
Now.
Thanks, Obama.
Right.
Yeah.
Thanks. Right. So, I want to be the person who can lay on the beach and have sex on the beach and who can just not worry about sand in all your holes and not I'm not that person. I'm more cautious than that. I don't know, man.
That's what doesn't make sense. That's what doesn't make sense. A cautious person does not say in the same breath, I can't swim and let's go down a water slide. That's not...
I don't know what I was thinking.
I don't know. But you do it all the time. I've been in pools with you and you can't swim. People who can't swim generally don't get in the pool. I mean...
Well, waiting.
It's I'm delightful. Flammable, but let's stand up to our knees in fire. Right? Why would I do this? It just doesn't... I don't get it. I think it's great, but what I don't get really is
go on boats. I can't swim.
Yeah. Well, hence the boat. But at the same time,
right.
I don't understand how you can be such a badass in all of these, fuck you, death, in all of these ways, but then also sledding a bridge too far. It's just there's some stretch. It's I don't get.
I want to be that person. I want to be the person who, this is my new segment. I want to be the person who goes out on a boat with 3 couples and jumps into the water. That ain't never going to happen.
Well,
It's never going to happen. I can't swim when I get in the water. I'll go out on a reef, I'll take a boat out to a reef and see the stingrays and that's cute and sweet, but let's snorkel. Nope. Check. But I want to be the kind of person but I'm not. And I'm okay with who I am, but I still want
to be the kind of person who
happy.
Can whistle, period, at any time, expertly, and whistle with fingers in my mouth. And there's a path to making that happen that I don't take. Largely because I've tried it and it's difficult. And it's not like you can whistle in 30 seconds. Just take this class. Like there's no foolproof way to do it. That's one you got to stumble around. Everyone's mouth is different. You've got to figure that one out, right?
Tell me more about everybody's mouth.
Listen, swimming is not whistling. There is a method. There are many methods where this can happen. So I love this idea of I want to be the kind of person who I'm devoting at least perhaps more, a year to I want to be the kind of person who, because I've had 51 years of, I don't know how I got to be this person. So I'm going to.
I like this person, but I want to love this person.
Oh, I'm great. I'm just missing a lot. So I'm going to go do the other pieces, right? I'm not caught up.
Just missing a lot.
I'm super not caught up. It's like the whole Christmas that took 6 weeks to handle. And I'm okay with that. New Year's was the same thing. We're still eating our New Year's Day meal because I'm still making it. And you know what? Fuck you. Some things take longer than you think. That's the way it's going to be. Back to you. Swimming is not unattainable. If you want to be the person who's on the boat and jumps off the boat, with your athletic back, open air and boobs out and all the things that you want to do and land in a pool of rollerblades, you can do these things. You just have to take a class that says,
sounds awful.
Let's learn how to adult swims.
Adult swims?
But you can adult swims. Maybe there's like a sexy adult swims class. Maybe there's and I don't know, that would excite you.
I think I would need to be hypnotized because I really do have like a 40-year-old irrational fear of underwater things, like water getting in every hole, not being able to see. Like I have things that I need to work out before I waste someone else's time trying to get me to be a swimmer.
Yeah, it sounds like my husband with his eyeballs. He's never going to get that fixed. But he doesn't care to get it fixed. He's like, yeah, fuck you. That's how they work.
And your eyeballs.
Yep, I'm not going underwater with my eyes. Sorry.
Amy, am I delicate?
I'm going to say no.
I heard a story this week that was one step too far for me.
Oh.
Yeah, so I know someone who has 5 chickens.
Why?
He used to have 6. It's newish for them, this family.
Boy.
It's newish. They had 6, but one died. Didn't make it. Remember when all of the mail was slowed down, there were chickens that were en route.
I saw on the news pallets of dead chickens at the post office.
Is that not the worst thing ever? Dead animals because
of their own ridiculous.
Because of your neighbor. So he had 6 chickens. He now has 5. Well, he now has 4. So
this is going to be no problem. Just wait, evidently, because it's going in the right.
Wait it out.
Going in the right direction.
Chicken. I know this math.
We're going to meet for dinner, and now he has no chickens.
4 dogs, 5 chickens. The new dog, the puppy, ate one of the chickens or killed one of the chickens.
Whoop.
Yeah, that's not good, right? So because these chickens became family, friends, and family. So I'm hearing this story, and I think that's really sad that, one of your dogs can't be trusted around these other animals on your property. And then he said, and I was coming outside to feed the chickens when this happened. I think he said he had a bowl full of spaghetti that he was bringing them.
This whole picture. The only thing that's strange in it is the word "my friend." Like that's the piece that doesn't fit. Everything else, I got a perfect picture. But how you're in there, I don't have any concept. Okay, continuing.
So he walks outside to feed the chickens, and the 4 other chickens are eating the dead chicken.
Oh, this is delightful. This is so good. And then he said, we can have carbonara spaghetti when I take the carcass of the dead chicken. What kind of horror movie are you watching?
How are 4 chickens who were raised with their friend eating their friend?
Really
upset.
They're not so smart. They have the tiny, tiny, tiny
but
little
wouldn't
chicken
they know
head.
enough?
Look at the brain to body mass ratio. No, they don't know. They don't know from no. They're like,
How
protein
do you eat
source.
your friend?
They're not
No,
really
this
friends.
is your friend.
They're not friends. They would have pecked the eyes out of that bitch if she ate too much of the desiccated corn. These are not friends. These are not friends. They are prey to a wanton, snarling dog who will come and kill them, or Spaghetti Dan, who's going to show up someday with another chicken from the post office. And God knows what that's been infected with. This whole scene.
It's very Lord of the Flies, and I'm very disturbed by it. They didn't have the patience to wait until they were starving. They were getting fed, and still they ate their sibling.
It's not even about that. When you decide dead carcass on the roadside seems like a good snack for me, you're in a different category altogether. When that's your choice, no matter how hungry you are, right? Take one step further. The plane is coming. Nope. Sometimes you're like, I'm going to die.
I eat you.
I'm going to die
I must break you.
instead of cut off somebody's arm and take a little turkey leg bite. Nope. Chickens. And that should be a lesson to you. That's why.
Don't get chickens?
No, that's why chicken tastes like chicken, because they eat other chickens.
That is fucking horrible. So the daughter, the human daughter in this family was
I got
crying.
there when you said daughter, you fucking freak.
There's so many animals on this farm.
The human daughter. Yes, I
They
can
have-
differentiate.
They
Anyway.
have kittens. They have everything in this
I
house.
don't understand your connection.
I don't understand how you eat your own. I mean, that's just, I thought that was an expression. I didn't realize.
Gross. It's so gross.
So I'm not that delicate. It's gross.
That's your measure of delicate.
Yeah, I was very bothered, nauseated, nauseous, whatever by this.
Well, you kept the friendship, so you can't be that delicate.
Oh yeah, it's not his fault. He was feeding
It's
spaghetti to his
It's
chickens.
kind of his fault.
Is it his fault? How is it his fault?
Well, it starts with he had 6 chickens, and then, I mean,
Sounds like a math
what
problem.
else is happening at this place? No.
Two kittens, 5 chickens, four chickens. Yeah, it's okay. It's probably how I would prefer to live. I just like to leave my house sometimes. These people can't travel at all, ever again.
Ugh.
Did you ever bite your cheek
Oh,
and
God.
then it hurts so badly that the next thing you do is bite it again because it's swelled up, and systematically for 4 days you now can't speak correctly because you've really just chewed on the same part of your face.
Holidays.
I mean,
What are you doing? Why are you doing
how do you get
this
out
to
of that
yourself?
circle?
You can't.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yes. The worst is when I do it. It's so vicious and violent. I only ever bite myself in the face when I'm really mad about something or moving too fast, right? It's like a loss of control. I'm chewing on the gum, and the wad of gum is already like super ball sized, right? It's like the opening of your coffee mug size. It's that big,
Wow.
and the jaw is like, rawr, rawr. It's like the grinder at the junkyard. That's what my teeth are doing.
Ooh.
And I'm chewing it, and I'm chewing it, and I'm chewing it, and the tongue is in there, and the tongue's got to keep moving, because if you're not careful, the tongue's going to get in between the 2 grinders. And so it's flip, flip, get that gum out of the way, flip, flip, chew, chew, and another thing, and I can't believe it. And oops. Little bit of cheek particle gets in there, and then I
And then
have
you
like
freeze.
a vampire bitten a hole straight through my face, and the sunlight is coming in on my teeth. And it really hurts. And then you bite it so hard that you stop mid-bite, where you go, and then it comes out, and then you're so pissed, and it's going thwob, 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 thwob. Instantly swells up, and now it's in the way. The only thing that's comparable to that is when you get a tortilla chip under your gum. Meaning
Ow.
your tooth gum, not your chewing gum.
Ow.
That's worse than those popcorn husks. That's the worst.
that you dig out for floss out for days.
I had my, I don't know why she bothered to tell me this. They're very talkative at the dentist. She said she's actually had people come in there to get them to dig out a corn chips lot.
Shut up.
Yeah. And that was her example. And I was like, really? I find that strange. Like, to me, it's the kind of thing
Very
where
strange.
people tell you these stories of, I'm an emergency room physician. I have seen lots of batteries and long flashlights and, strange things go
I
up
fell on it.
people's bazoops. So, yeah, evidently dentists, same thing. I was chewing on a Slim Jim, and it lodged all the way underneath my teeth and popped my teeth out. Like, whatever happens, I don't. It was very strange to me. Yes, I've bitten my cheek. Who has never bitten their cheek? You must
But
love
it
yourself
becomes-
a lot if you're
It
not.
becomes a recurring, it just happens on the same spot again. You're like, son of a bitch. Like how somehow you pull out of it. Somehow 2 days pass and it's given a chance to heal.
It's never
and
going to heal. It's a permanent
very
hole.
real.
It's a permanent hole in your life. And you caused it. So,
Right. You did it to
but
you.
I mean, isn't everything your fault? Really? Doesn't.
Well, if you ask my family, it is. I trace it back to never going sledding.
Oh, you're so delicate.
I'm so delicate. Do you ever go to bed angry
Try.
with your spouse?
Nah, I'm sure that I have. It's not like we're going to stay fighting until we resolve it so we can go to sleep. Whenever the 1 or 5 times that we've tried that in our long history, it's kind of like, I'm so fucking tired. I don't care if I'm angry anymore. I am too tired to be angry.
Nothing's going to resolve
I'm
this
too tired to be angry. So I declare myself no longer angry. Shut up. Like, it's not, there's no, that's not really a thing. So I'm sure I have. Do I enjoy it? No. More likely to happen to me is to go to bed in a state that I don't want to be in. Like I don't when I've got something that my brain is gnawing on, like that giant wad of gum, it's not good. And I know it's not going to be good. Or having watched a terrible content, watched something super scary or been scared or had something happen, I know I'm going to have the world's most vivid, crazy dreams, and they affect me super deeply. So I hate that. And to the best of my ability to try and get out of that state before I do fall asleep, sometimes, most of the time when that happens, it prevents me from going to sleep. I just lay there all night and don't go to bed.
Right.
Why? Do you go to bed angry?
No,
Is that your
Stuart-
favorite thing? Is that your new resolution?
Stuart said to me, "Are you going to go to bed angry?" I'm like, "Well, are you going to
Did you want me to?
Like, I don't know. Are you going to apologize?
What do you do now?
And he's like, "Well, are you going to apologize?" I'm like, "Do you think having sex would make it better?" Because that's a way not to go to bed angry. I don't know.
You can have sex while you're angry with each other?
angry sex.
Was that a
Yeah,
joke?
You sure can.
Was that a joke? Are you
No.
making a joke? I'm not. I don't want. You might not want to talk about this. You can be super in a fight, angry, pissed, and have physical sex. I don't know what other kind of sex there is.
Yeah, you can have angry sex. Yeah.
What?
Sex while angry. Yes,
What?
definitely.
Why would you do that? Are you intending to make the other person be mad and get hurt and be mean? Is it like a fight? Is it like different instead of having a physical fist fight, you have like a sex fight? Is it a sex fight?
No. So if Stuart and I are arguing and I just want it to be over, there are times, usually when the kids are at camp, there are times where I'll just take my shirt off. You can't really fight with me if I'm topless. You can't really fight with me if I am not wearing pants. Like, so it's very hard for him to
I guess so. Yeah, but
fight
but you're not.
when nudity is involved.
So his brain just short circuits, and there's nothing that
Yes.
he just has no power. I can't believe sex, tits,
Yes.
tits.
Yes.
Really?
And instead of, yeah, of course. How is your husband programmed? Aren't they, isn't that a male linked thing?
No, he has human emotion and connection, and this idea that I'm a human
No.
being. Yeah, and when he's pissed at me, he's fucking pissed at me. Do you get turned on at people that you fucking hate? I mean, when you're angry at somebody, there's an anger-hate mechanism that's like, I hate you right now. I never hated you ever. I mean, hate's a strong word. Do you know what I mean? Really? I don't believe any of
Yes.
this is true. That must not be
I
a real
could
fight.
definitely have
You
hate
must
sex.
not know what a fight is. That's not a fight. Come on. Really? You're not.
Well, by fight, I'm just saying we're going to bed angry. And the way to, defuse that a bit before.
You would rather, but you're not done. You're still pissed at him. I'm trying to
Well,
paint
no,
a picture.
it's-
Like when you're.
It's not that we're not done. It'll just come back the next time we fight, maybe a little bigger, but at least I get like a good month or so out of that whole.
So this isn't
anger
really a fight.
cloud.
This isn't really a fight. This is an issue. So when you have issues that you're never dealing with, right, and you're tired of talking about the thing that's not going to get resolved anyway, I'd rather just have sex than instead of having this stupid thing. And the way to have sex is to say, hey, look over here, sex, boing, 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 and then magically you're having sex again. Okay, that's very different.
boing.
That's very different than going to bed angry. Your eyelids are very angry.
Yesterday, my dog stood up in a really weird way. And I'm like, that dog's going to fucking throw up. I know it.
This is a great
And-
transition.
And I said, I'm like lounged down. We're all watching a family movie, and I'm down on a lounge chair, and Stuart's sitting up. I'm like, could you please get him off the shag rug before he throws up, and I have to dig vomit pieces out of a shag rug?
It's delightful.
And he sat there, and I said 3 times, I said, please, please move the dog off that rug. And he did not. And never have I ever been so right. That dog threw up all the food, all the whatever, into that shag rug. And I said, I don't know why nobody ever fucking listens to me when I tell you to do something. I'm not doing it just to be controlling and make everybody do things. There's a reason, and I know better, and nobody ever gives me credit for it. But guess what? Yeah. So he got mad that I said, how come nobody ever fucking listens to me? If you'd listened, I wouldn't be cleaning vomit out of. So yeah, I mean, he was mad at me, and I was right. So
well, help paint. You got to fill in the lines in this picture. Okay. Who was the closest to the dog? Was this an issue of like untangling yourself from the sofa? He was closest. Like, why didn't you get up?
He was easiest to get up.
Yeah. Okay,
He was easiest for him because by the time I
gotta
pushed the button,
you gotta put up some barricades because I'm like, you could have fucking fixed it. And then the other thing is, why are you cleaning up the dog vomit? If it was like, it's not anybody's fault. It's the dog's fault that the dog threw up, and we don't blame the dog for having to throw up. Okay, so it's kind of like there's a blameless situation where you want to start no eyeballs. Here's where the blame comes in.
It is not blameless. I saw it coming. I asked for help. I said, please move the dog off the thing. I would have to press the button on the lounge chair, go back down. And by the time I did that and got to him,
so there's
he
this
would have
issue
thrown
of
up anyway.
There's this issue of I can't get there in time. You're closer. Do it now.
Yes.
Vomit. And the do it nows, we're looking at you like, fuck you, lady. I'm watching a show.
But that always happens. I will ask my kids to do something that I like. Can you go get another roll of paper towels? I'm standing in the kitchen. Something's falling all over me. I need somebody go. Nobody moves. I'll get it. Nobody moves. There's no sense of urgency ever in this house. Is that COVID related from our last episode?
No,
Make everything COVID.
They don't understand urgency because their lives are handled fucking for them.
Correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's infuriating to know that it has reached a higher level than my children. There's no sense of, mommy said do this, do this. Nobody ever fucking listens to me. And then so Stuart went and like cleaned up the trunks. And then I had to go get that machine that cleans the, and I was down there and 2 more times I had to clean up vomit yesterday. With the
is this the same dog? Just to take a dog.
Same dog.
Hey! Same dog who was not eating. Now everything that's going in is coming out in bad ways. Is this the same dog?
Yeah, I had a dream that he swallowed a squeaker, and he started to talk to me in my dream through squeaks. And
Could you understand
but
the squeaking?
I might have to go tomorrow and take him to the vet and see what's going on. If I started him on rice today, a little bit of fresh salmon, and I know that's probably not the best idea, but we're going to see how he handles today. If anything comes up, if it does tomorrow, we'll go to the vet because today is the $300 emergency vet day. And it's not an emergency because he's acting fine.
It's not an emergency period. I mean, just go to the brat diet equivalent for dogs. I'm sure we don't feed them bananas. Whatever the
rice,
baby.
bread.
Yeah.
To go.
And some proteins.
Yeah.
And he's be fine.
So I was going to bed angry last night, and my dog ate squeakers and that whole thing.
You
But
don't think
I
you're
just
angry that you had to clean up vomit? You're angry because people didn't move quick enough when you asked for help?
Yes, because that's the problem. I don't mind cleaning up vomit. I have 2
Well, that's
kids.
a problem.
I've had 100 dogs. It's part of being a dog owner. You're going to do some gross things. But, I mean, the worst part is, and I can't imagine what goes on in your family, because you have talked about your hair being everywhere.
It is.
Which means that Butters eats your hair. And there have been times where I've watched a dog poop and a hair that they've eaten keeps poop hanging on them.
It's a lot of involvement. No, I've never seen my own hair go all the way through my dog's body and come out in his poople and then watch it go thoink and still curly. God, love it. I don't inspect his deuces. He goes all the way back in the woods.
Good boy.
He is a good boy. He's in here laying down on the ground.
Good boy. So there are gross things involved. It's part of a long-term, nobody fucking listens to me kind of thing.
So it was a bigger thing, I think, but still. What was the movie? Was it a happy movie or a kind of a political movie?
We were watching Under Siege, Steven Seagal.
Yeah, I gotta feel like these are all related. I
love that movie.
I've never seen it. I'm sure I've never seen it. I've never seen a Steven Seagal movie, period. Like, I only know who he is because he's referenced in other movies as a caricature of himself. So...
He's really a sheriff now because he loved all of the roles that he had as like Navy SEALs
Sure, he's
and
highly qualified.
police.
Yes.
He's so ridiculous.
I feel protected. Yeah. What city is that to avoid?
I think he's somewhere in Texas, so don't worry, it's not an issue.
Fantastic. Yeah.
It's not really an issue.
Dokey.
We talked previously about how we watch things. Everybody's posting, you must see Bridgerton, you must see like all of these shows. And I started to count up all of the memberships that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there is a more financially prudent way to do this and not have Verizon, all of those streaming, like regular cable TV, and then Peacock, HBO Max, Netflix, Hulu, Prime. Like how many ways? There must be 50 ways to watch your TV.
Mm-hmm.
So slip out the back, Jack. Do you have all of these subscriptions?
We have every subscription that's possible. And when new ones arrive, we have those sort of automatically grandfathered in, and not in a way we get them for free, where they're like, we've pre-enrolled you in this expensive thing because we know you'll buy it anyway. Like and the reason for that is we will never disentangle from all of this horse shit. We have satellite, and we have the maximum capacity satellite program, not because we watch it, but because my husband follows so many disparate sports that are, in some cases, not at all, but in some cases, only available to us if he buys the premium package, because they occur in other countries, and you can only get it this way, right? Even before, now we do a lot more with streaming, but there's the Major League Baseball package. There's the football package. There's the hockey package. So all three of those. Then he streams this. And when you get those crazy subscription style packages, because nobody would ever pay for them otherwise, they throw in like 800 other channels. So all these channels are there. Then he decides, oh, well, HBO Max, that's only another, $72 a minute. Let's get that too.
A minute.
Right? So, yeah, if I was to actually look at what we watch and how it's available for us to watch it, we could probably save $2 billion a month on all of this stuff. And it's not the method. There's always some reason, but that's tied to this thing, and that's this perk from over here, and I like it that way. And Amazon Prime, you pay for Amazon Prime because it delivers things for work. So yeah, I'm going to watch the movies that you tell me are included. There's lots of ways to convince yourself that it's not the world's biggest, worst thing. We also, by and large, don't go out and do things, even pre-COVID. The things that we would do, as much as we adore going to the movies, we got 4 kids. It's expensive taking 5 people to the movies and having a popcorn experience. That's over $100, well over, no matter how you slice it, just to watch a single movie. So yeah, having a subscription fee that's hovering in that area, or maybe double that each month for more than one movie, starts to foolishly feel like, oh, I could get around that. But it is absolutely insanely stupid. It's insanely stupid.
We were most excited when that Wonder Woman 1984 came out on HBO Max because, again, we subscribe to everything.
Yeah.
And we were like, wait, you're going DC, you're going right to, okay. I mean, then we were less excited when we saw it, but, Yeah,
I felt the same way about Mandalorian, about I was going to call it Henderson.
Mando.
Who's the president who sticks his finger in the air? Hamilton. Henderson. We're very excited to see Henderson. Put your eyebrows down.
Never going to be president now.
Whatever. And so that, and I don't know what else to say.
I didn't even put this.
All the things that come out in ways where you can only see it there, and Apple TV and all the rest of them. Yep, got it all, and it starts to feel like, oh, there's a value there. But I would pay so much money to never have watched Wonder Woman 1984. It was so bad. It was so painfully bad, and I did it on New Year's Day. Or whatever day it was, Christmas Day.
And
I was like, and I couldn't get out of it. It was like the book that sucks, but you won't put it down because you're fucking not going to beat me. I'm going to read this damn book and something good's going to happen, or I'm going to feel like at least I finished it. No, it's so fucking awful.
You were fooled, though, because the first 10 minutes were great.
Of what?
That Wonder Woman. The first 10 minutes were great. And you're like, oh, my God, I'm in. I'm excited. And you're like, this took a turn.
It was so bad.
This took a turn.
So bad. And then the people who defended it, it started to feel like Republican politics. You're like, I can't understand how you can defend this movie. How can I have you in my life? I don't get how your brain can process that this movie
Maybe
is
they
okay.
turned it off
No.
after the first 10 minutes.
They defend it and say it was the best, and they utter the phrase, "I will watch it again."
No, let's not be crazy.
I'm saying there's a faction in this country that needs help, and they like Wonder Woman 1984.
We needed help, so we started a Patreon page.
We did a long time ago, and by we, I mean I. My favorite part is I never check it. Is it still operating? Are you trying to tell me it's been shut down?
No, I'm trying to tell you we have a new Patreon supporter.
What? Who did Stuart sign up for a Patreon?
He did not. He donates
Thanks for
his
nothing,
wife.
Stuart.
He donates his wife. He said, should I be? And I'm like, you
Come
should
on.
be shutting up, right? You
Come
should be
on.
cleaning up vomit when I say, move the dog.
Just take your
That's
shirt
what you
off
should be
and
doing.
see what happens. Chances are it won't be a new Patreon subscription. We'll have to wait 30 minutes to hear from you again. All right, go ahead.
12. But okay, that's fine.
Oh, come on.
That was aggressive. Yeah, we have a new Michelle. Actually, she is a friend of yours.
What?
Yes, Michelle is our new Patreon sponsor.
Oh my God. Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I'm so thrilled to
yay.
welcome her to the family.
Same.
And normally I would say I'd have to dig into Patreon, get her mail address so I could send her something, but I know I can go through you and get that.
No, I'm fantastic. That's fantastic. I owe her so many. We've been trying to concoct ways to like a porch drive-by and all this other stuff, and it's just not been in the cards. Yay! It will definitely be concocted. That's crazy.
Isn't that wonderful?
Thank you. I was going to say congratulations, but I guess yes to us. Congratulations. I was also going to say thank you. That's so wonderful. Thank you.
Isn't that great?
That's her MO. She's definitely one of these, well, I value this. I appreciate this. I shall support it financially. Like that's how she lives her
So
whole
are you
life.
saying she also does that on Wikipedia and
More
the
than likely.
Weather Channel?
More
who are the
more
new
than
people
likely.
who
She's
want money?
She is super gratitude driven, and it's like there's a giant tip jar for gratitude, and so she makes a point to say thank you, gratitude, boink, in all the different ways that she can, and it just flows back to her in a giant ball of happiness and success and wonderment and great sparkly smiling life, and she's a little ray of sunshine. It's so exciting. This is
I'm
exciting.
going to have to agree with you there.
It's true.
I'm going to have to agree.
It's true. It's all true.
Book check? What's book check?
Oh, I have started this whole thing about the year of yes, which is not the writing, the whole thing. How I made this
Shonda.
huge pivot, and a couple people have asked me about this IRL, and I thought, oh, really? All right. So I just thought it would be interesting to say that I have already begun. And I haven't made the kind of traditional progress that people would think of as writers. You sit down and then pages flow out of you. But I've done a whole lot of the prep work and started doing things that are necessary to keep things going. So that feels good. And one of the things that I have been doing is taking advantage of a Christmas gift that I asked for and was happy to receive, because it's kind of stupid, but I adore it and I really value it. Masterclass. Shonda Rhimes is on there doing a masterclass.
Year of yes.
And she's so helpful. In the beginning, she was so not helpful. I was so pissed and like, I want a refund on this ripoff that I didn't even pay for because it was a gift. And then meanwhile, it took a turn, and she's been really, really helpful, and lots of little truth bombs and truth nuggets. And so I'm here to say that no matter what you're doing, if she is any indication, and I suspect that she is, if you have an interest in something, this masterclass is actually worthwhile. It's very good. And they have every topic that you can possibly think of. And I've had other friends who've done it for other reasons and said, oh, it's great. It's this, it's that. They have a cooking one. They have anything you can think of. They have it there. Interior design. Television watching, learning to swim. There's a masterclass there. Sledding. Fights without taking your shirt off. They're all in there. Anything that you want, there's a masterclass. Fights with taking your shirt off. Porno fights.
That I'm teaching. I'm teaching
dance
that
fights,
masterclass.
dance porno. It's all, everything that you want is in there. Dance porno. Okay.
I don't want to see that.
I think you do.
I don't want to see that.
You don't want to
think
see
you're
dance
wrong.
porno? Come on.
I don't.
What?
I don't. Those are two very different things for me. I don't want to. No, thank you. Me? No, thank you.
Okay.
So masks are part of our lives now in a way that's just, I mean, there's no more I forgot. It's literally one in the car, one on the kitchen table. They're everywhere.
And if you forgot, we've got 18 disposables right here, so shut up.
Exactly. Do you have a favorite mask?
I do.
The way it fits you, what's on it, like what makes it your favorite mask?
I do have a favorite, and I never wear it because I've now switched over entirely to function over form, which makes me really mad. When things really, really, really started to exponentially get out of control, and the kids, the two younger, were still going to school every day. I think it was before Thanksgiving. We switched everybody over to KN95s. We just bought a huge slew of them. We got them in black so that they're not quite so off-putting. And wear those every day because they're the absolute strongest that you can have. And I'm here to tell you, they make a huge difference. So we've been wearing those exclusively, and they're disposable. You wear them and you throw them out and you get another one. They're expensive, but we feel more comfortable doing that. My favorite mask is my Mandalorian mask, which I love.
Oh.
It has all the colors of the lower half of the Mandalorian helmet. So when you put it on your face, it sort of mimics what the helmet would look like. Of course, your eyes are out, so it's not like you're pretending anything. But it's super fun, and it's thick enough material, and it's really long. So it covers the whole, when you talk, it doesn't do that thing where you're constantly fucking and fiddling with it. What is your favorite mask?
Well, I like the bridge your nose, the little twist tie that's in there. I like knowing that that's more secure than an open breathing out, because then I don't know. I'm trying to find the perfect one. I'm trying to find there's a company called Sanctuary. It's a clothing.
Yeah.
It's a clothing website. They make pretty good masks because they accordion, so they go as high as you want them to. I like that. But I see people who do labor and work and whatever. They have these enormous masks on because they're like you on that walk and they need more air. I don't know how effective or effectual.
Well, here's what I can tell you. Well, we've got 5 people, and we've had 3 of them in the world for this entire time, in highly masked, highly controlled situations. Nobody's ever had COVID, or we've been very lucky and fortunate in that regard. We've done all the right things that you say you can do. Okay. We've tried every mask under the sun, ordered every mask under the sun from very early on. So I got a year of mask awareness here for 5 people at varying face sizes. I got small, medium, large, extra large, all of it. The ones that have the buckles on the ears, the ones that hurt your ears, the ones that cover your nose, the ones that have the thing, the ones that go below the chin, stitched different, in a triangle shape, in a surgical shape, in a folded shape. Baga. Nothing is better than these KN95s, and I'm here to tell you, they have the nose tightener. It's a little metal strip in there. And if you want some fashion, put another one on top, and then people see that, but then the functional one is the one that's protecting you or whatever. I swear by them, and we buy them in lots of 50, and they come in a vacuum sealed bag, and I leave them in a bowl on the counter, and you take out a fresh one every time, and there you go. Perfect. And you don't have to wash them. That was the other thing. I was like, I'm not keeping up with washing these, so having a reusable mask that you don't wash and wear for 3 days in a row isn't protecting anybody. You're just bringing more COVID into your environment. So if you're not going to be washing them really regularly, that's almost worse. So that was another justification. I was like, we need to do better by these kids. So that's what we did.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
We talked earlier about. Well, wait. Let me ask you about yours. Is your tree still up?
Of fucking course. Yes, the tree is still up, and I debated for about 8 seconds. Silently, in my own mind, is today the day that we begin dismantling? And then I was laughing before the end of the thought. So nope, I don't want to deal with it. I still have nutcrackers up, dude. It's not like the tree is the last bastion. I got this shit up, and it really should come down this weekend. But I just don't want to. They go back to school on Monday. I get my house back sort of for a few minutes. I still have the oldest one here, but he hides in his hovel. In his hidey hole, so I never really see him anyway, which is fine. So I just want some quiet, and I don't want boxes half filled. Nobody's going to do it but me anyway. Nobody's going to do it.
Nobody's going to do it right.
Nobody's going to do it at all. I even did it wrong last year just to get it the fuck done. It's not like I've so long ago given up on anything expert. At this point, completion is a lofty goal. It's just start it. that's as best as we can do. So if there's an attempt to remove the tree, I declare victory. So that's it.
We practice for progress, not perfection. And I teach that in my master class as well.
There you go.
I asked because the emails started coming around that in our area, the guys are going to start taking away trees. They're doing a massive tree pickup.
I saw a friend of ours burning their tree, and I thought, is that illegal? And also, are you going to burn your house down? And what a pretty flame that is 18 feet tall. Yeah.
And also, can you take mine too?
Well, ours is a pretend. We've had a pretend for as long as we've had a tree. So it's never a real tree. It's always pretend.
So you don't get all the needles on the ground.
No, they still fall. They still fall the fuck off. I mean, it's a 15-year-old tree, but we bought. Have you heard of this company, Frontgate?
Yeah, I know Frontgate.
Yeah,
sure.
So 1,000,000 years ago, when the decision was, well, we're not even going to get a tree because we're not here and it'll burn the house down. I was like, fuck you. I'm getting a fake tree. And we had one of those giant, oversized rooms at the time that's 1,000,000 feet tall. So we got a 1,000,000-foot tall tree from Frontgate. And I was like, if I'm doing it, I'm fucking doing it. And we still have it. So, and that's it.
I saw a tree that you press a button and it grows and grows and it's decorated and it's lit just for pressing a button. I'm like, Jews would own those. Like that's really how we would do that.
We need Jews to reinvent Christmas.
I want to thank you all for listening today. I want to tell you that you can reach out to us. You can also support us on Patreon the way Michelle did, the way Therese did, the way our listeners, right. We are very grateful for you, and we want you to know that, period. You can reach us at brilliantobservations@gmail.com if you want to drop us a line. If you want to interact with us for more instant gratification, put a post on Listen Brilliant on Instagram or Twitter, or go to Brilliant Observations on Facebook, where we have a subgroup, Brill Ob Squad. And it's instant gratification because we get bing on our phones and we're like, oh yeah. And especially if it's toilet art humor. I absolutely love it. Give me what you got.
And we're still looking for all those. This is what I'm planning for the coming 4 minutes. 4 months, 4 years, 8 days, whatever is coming up in 2021. If you have hopes, dreams, goals, I'm glad that I just woke up breathing. Whatever it might be, put it out there because we're all muddling through this nonsense together. And it's a fun and supportive and laughy place. So put a smile on it. See what it brings you.
It's a laughy place. You see? It worked. It's a laughy
I told
place.
you. I said it.
Thanks for listening, guys. We love you.
Next week.
Bye.
Bye.